Alrighty, how is the audio now? How are we doing? Can you guys hear me now? I realize that the audio should be working now, but probably was not working earlier. So we're going to bet on it working at this point. And I'm going to go back and tell you that we were just talking about the Tulsa storms. We have just storm report after storm report in this area. So this will be the Bixby and Broken Arrow area. On the southern side of Tulsa, this is a destructive severe thunderstorm. So we have this destructive tag on thunderstorm here, highlighted here in black. Do you see these black lines right here? What that means is that the National Weather Service has determined that this is a destructive storm, oftentimes bringing us large hail up to the size of a golf ball, if not even larger. So I can see your chats in the comments over here. I can see exactly where you guys are watching from. So tell me where you're watching from. Are you watching from Tulsa on this afternoon? Or are you watching from someplace else? Do you guys want to talk about Kansas City? As we wait for your comments to come in, I will go ahead and QC some of these reports. Let's see what we're getting here down in Tulsa. So we're talking about, okay, a $50 size hail report, pretty decent size. Let's zoom all the way in here. Let's see these Broken Arrow reports right here. 1-inch size hail, the size of a quarter. We have so many reports right here. What about another one out in Broken Arrow? A little less than the size of a quarter. We've got 3/4 inch size hail here. What about this one? Another 3/4 size report here. Alrighty, let's just keep on going here. Another 1-incher, nickel to quarter size hail at 71st and Yale, a very popular area. Lots of cars on the street this time of the day at 71st and Yale. Another report for quarter size hail. So it looks like the consensus in this area has been $50, quarter size hail. And we're going to work to get some pictures for you all and see if we can get some pictures pulled up on the screen here. Okay, I'm getting some reports real time here of about the size of a quarter. So we're getting that out of Tulsa right now. And let's see if we can get this picture to you guys. Give us just a minute here. So I do have my computer off the screen here. You guys can see it kind of in the side of the screen. And so that's going to give me more ability to QC these reports right here that are mainly coming in at about the quarter size, maybe just less than the size of a quarter. However, this severe thunderstorm warning itself is warned for even larger hail sizes. And we have seen this severe thunderstorm warning produce larger hail. Just a few hours ago, maybe an hour ago, we saw ping pong ball size hail, maybe even larger hail farther down to the south into places like Beggs, Oklahoma. So let's see if we can get anything larger on here. If we were to take off the local storm reports here and look at correlation coefficient, we're going to see that the largest hail is going to be coming in right on the east side of Tulsa, moving at 44 right now, 169, 244 right now. This will be where we see the largest hail sizes in this area. What we're watching for here are those greens and blues mixing in. That's what we want to see for large hail. So this is moving up to the north right now. It'll be moving into the Catoosa and Owasso area here in just a few minutes. It's basically going to the north right along 169. So this is where we're seeing the largest hailstones right now. As we continue to track this storm, let's take a look at its previous path because it has kind of broken away from a line of storms here. If we zoom out, you can see this line of storms that it was previously associated with. However, it's kind of broken away. It's out on its own. For a while, it was a pretty isolated storm. However, now it's clustered between a few other storms that had formed to the north of Tulsa. But really, the entire city just getting pelted by hail and heavy rain right now. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning is warned for 2-inch size hailstones and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Let's see if we have any new questions coming in that give us any more information about where you guys are watching from. So we've got some people watching from Oklahoma City right now, others down in Norman and Colorado. I love the persistence about storms in Colorado. Colorado could surprise you. However, you have a very low chance for storms in Colorado for today. Alrighty, let's keep going and take a look at Kansas City at this time. while I get more pictures coming in from Tulsa right now. Send us your weather pictures. We love to see those pictures. I'm getting a few sent to me right now. So that helps us to determine what's actually happening at the surface, and it gives us a good idea of what this storm is doing. So I do see some people joining in from Kansas City at this time. Let's go up to KC. North on 49 here, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for the northern side of Kansas City. However, that southern side of the storm has now weakened. It's probably just so clustered in here that it's hard for anything to organize. It's hard to get any large hail if things are so clustered and so disorganized right in here. So we do see this severe thunderstorm warning warned for $half-dollar size hail and very low wind speeds. Now, this is something that we saw yesterday as well, where the wind just wasn't there, but that large hail risk absolutely was. So we've got $half-dollar size hail and about 50,000 people impacted in the northern KC area right here. These storms stretch all the way up into places like St. Joe, and I can show you that. We can remove this box and show you that these storms are just to the east of St. Joe, right along I-35 here. So you can see that the strongest or the heaviest rain that's coming in is right along to the east of 35, and then there is that severe thunderstorm warning, which just barely includes the northern side of KC, and then all the way up to the north and east. Again, $half-dollar size hail is what this severe thunderstorm warning is warned for. So let's see what other questions do we have right now. Keith says, hail in KC. And Mark also watching in from Tulsa right now. Thanks for joining us today. We'll go back down to Tulsa here in just a minute, but I do want to work to get this hail report pulled up for you all that is coming in from Tulsa right now. And if you see anything coming in from Kansas City, let us know, and we will be able to show it on the screen as well. So this is just going to take me just a minute. You guys know the drill here. Whenever I produce for myself, it takes me a little bit longer to go through and get things online for you. But I am producing for myself today because our meteorologists are very busy mapping all of these storms. You know, this is not the only severe thunderstorm that we have going on right now. We have a lot of severe storms across the U.S. right now. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch out for the southern side of Iowa and northern side of Missouri. This severe thunderstorm watch goes until 10 o'clock this evening, so a little bit longer than our tornado watch, which goes until 9 o'clock today. The tornado watch does include places like Wichita, Kansas City, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. Hey, speaking of Oklahoma City, if you have friends in OKC, let them know you have a severe thunderstorm warning coming your way. So this is taking a very similar track to what we saw on Saturday. On Saturday, we saw a storm down to the south and west of the city. It started to split. What is this storm doing here? It's starting to split. What we call this here is a left mover and a right mover. If you take the direction of the storm moving, here I'll show you right now. Get an arrow in here. So the storm is moving to the northeast, right? And then you've got one storm that is starting to split off and moving to the right of the storm direction, and you've got another one that's starting to split to the left, right? And so this left mover, this northern side right here, what this is going to do is this is going to be your hailer, and then this southern side here, this right mover, that's going to be your potential tornado producer. So I'm not saying that's what's happening yet. However, that is what we are watching for in this area in between Chickasha and Purcell. Is there you go. Is that this storm that's splitting off right here is going to be the hailer, and this one farther down to the south, that's going to be your potential tornado. Now let's see what the National Weather Service has warned this storm for, because this could tell us some information of what will be happening in Oklahoma City within the next half hour. It is warned for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Not impacting a ton of people right now. However, as the storm continues to move to the north, it will be moving into more populated areas like Mustang, Oklahoma City, Edmond. You're not in the warning right now, but this is something that could be coming our way as we head into the next half hour. Right now, this severe thunderstorm warning is warned for, let's see if we can get some info on this. Ping pong ball size hail, 60 mile per hour wind speed, moving to the north at 50 miles an hour. So if we put a storm track on this, going at 50 miles an hour, going right into Oklahoma City, moving to the north. So I've kind of taken this to the northeast. We have a timeline for storms making it to Oklahoma City by about 4:45. I told you about in the next half hour, 30 minutes from now, storms will be in Oklahoma City. 4:52 in the Village. So if we continue to see this storm sustain its strength that it has right now, if it sustains this strength, then it will produce ping pong ball size hail in places like OKC and the Village. Now we'll see, because what we saw on Saturday was that this storm weakened before it got to the northern side of Oklahoma City. It like crossed I-40 there and then weakened. So we'll see if it can sustain its strength over the next half hour. Can it stay this strong over the next half hour? Let's play this through. And I'll show you the history of this storm. What you can see here is that it started out as one storm. It's seemingly to split right now. Now, I'm not terribly impressed about the health of this storm. Now, this right mover down here does not look very impressive at all. However, the hailer that's moving into Chickasha right now does look a lot more impressive. So we'll keep an eye on that storm, although I know that we still have a lot of people who are joining us from Kansas City and from Tulsa right now. So we'll kind of go back and forth between these three storm systems, or these three storms, and we'll watch all three cities. So let's take a look at Tulsa. Now in Tulsa, we still have a significant severe thunderstorm warning highlighted here in yellow with those black stripes through it. Those black stripes indicate significant severe thunderstorm warning. Why? Large hail. 2-inch size hail potential for Bixby, Broken Arrow, Sapulpa, and Tulsa. Let's put our local storm reports back on the map, and let's see if we can get any verifiable larger hail. Now, earlier I told you that the hail core was moving in between Catoosa and Owasso. And now what we have here is some verified reports in this area. So let's take a look at these verified reports. 1-inch size hail just to the north of Highway 244. We officially have a ping pong ball size report, hail report here in Verdigris. That's in Rogers County. Let's zoom into the map, right into Owasso here, where we do see a little bit of rotation from this storm. However, I'm not terribly concerned too much with the rotation of this storm. I know that we do have a tornado concern in this area. However, from this storm specifically, I'm not terribly concerned with that tornado potential. Less than the size of a quarter hail in Owasso. Let's see if we can get anything bigger than that. Nope, smaller than the size of a quarter, so smaller than 1 inch in size. And another hail report in Owasso for less than the size of a quarter. So it does look like the largest hailstone that we can see here confirmed fell in Verdigris, Oklahoma. So that's just to the northeast of Tulsa. But holy moly, I mean, tell me you got a hailstorm without telling me you got a hailstorm. We just have hail reports on top of hail reports on the southeast side of Tulsa. So just to the east of I-44. Now again, this is not the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have going on here, but I do want to give you an update on this warning. It's hard to see, but we have seen the hail risk go down in this area. Another ping pong ball size hail report in Skytook that happened just a few minutes ago, about 5 minutes ago. So we still have a pretty significant hail core in this. However, the National Weather Service has brought down the severe thunderstorm warning from 2-inch potential to ping pong ball size hail potential. So it's not considered significant anymore. However, it's still a pretty decent threat to places like Claremore and Sepulpa. It seems like my computer is frozen. So while my computer brings back up the radar, I'm going to see your comments right now. So we've got some people jumping in from Kansas City. Jamie, let's go up to Kansas City. Let's see if we can move this radar. It's not wanting to cooperate with me at the moment. So give it just a minute to reload here. And it looks like the radar is going to freeze for the moment, for the time being. I'm not quite sure why, but as this computer loads, hopefully we can get the radar back up here pretty soon. In the meantime, I can show you some pictures from storms in Tulsa right now. And I know a lot of people want to see Kansas City. It's going to take a minute to get Kansas City up here. Because my radar has frozen. You know, it's a Monday. No one wants to work on a Monday, right? Apparently the radar doesn't either. All right, we've got some small hail outside of Tulsa right now, so let me show you this picture. We appreciate this picture being sent in by Tyler from Tulsa. Let me pull this up for you here. Maybe. I don't, not quite sure why. It seems like all of our computers don't want to work today. Not quite sure what's going on here. Let's see if our radar is back up. That is also having some issues on this Monday afternoon, so let's problem solve. Because I know that we want to talk about storms in Kansas City, which I can see right now. Storms in Kansas City, we do have some golf ball hail reports in places like Overland Park. So let's see if we can get a view of that for you. You guys, I apologize for this delay. It does look like we are having computer issues right now. And doesn't that just figure, you know, like that's what happens on a Monday. Obviously, our computer has not had as much coffee as I had this morning. It needs to catch up, right? All right, let's try this one more time. Really having fun with this one here. Okay, we're gonna try something different and see if we can pull up the radar. I hope that you guys are enjoying watching me problem solve in real time here. Oftentimes we do this behind the scenes, but whenever you go live, sometimes you can't control what the computers want to do. And I promise you guys we're working on it here. Attempting to get our radar back up and running. I can tell you in the meantime, we have a ping pong ball size report of hail in Midtown in Tulsa. We have golf balls in Overland Park, Kansas City. And a lot of stalled traffic on the highway in Tulsa as well as the storm coming into the city, not only producing some really heavy rain, but also some large hail. So that's what you're seeing behind me is all of those hail reports. Lots of these quarter size and smaller, but some of them even as big as a ping pong ball, which is very significant and could absolutely be impactful to not only your evening commute, but also to your houses and other properties in the area. And I'm not quite sure what our issue with the radar is, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out that issue, and we're going to hop back onto the live stream whenever we do have this issue figured out. So I'm sure it's just a very simple turn it off and turn it back on again. But in the meantime, keep it with Hail Trace. We'll be posting more pictures and videos of those hailstorms across Tulsa, across Oklahoma City, and across Kansas City. So keep it here with us. We have meteorologist eyes on these storms 24/7, not just me, but many across the city are tracking these storms right now. So we'll jump back on whenever we have more to report.